The Jim and Terry Show. One day, we might be podcasting from the Gateway.
From the Gateway, wouldn't that... now...
Watching the comings and goings.
The comings and goings from the Earth to the Moon. That would... Hey, we're going to have a busy highway up there, man.
I think we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, the SLS, which is the most
Space
powerful...
Launch Systems.
Most powerful rocket that has now left the planet. That's what the SLS is.
It did leave.
Yes. Only
Wednesday.
to be replaced next month by the Starship. But nevertheless, which I'm sort of favor the Starship.
Okay, stop right there before we celebrate Artemis 1 and the capsule journeying to a lunar orbit for the first time since
50 years.
50 years. So that's impressive. But go back to Starship. What did you just say? Starship next week?
I said next month.
Next month,
Yeah,
December.
Yeah, there's a real good chance in December. They're going to... Remember, I told you it was going to be November. I was wrong.
One of our podcasts, we said December. We said, do you think? And we agreed December. So there's no wager, no loony on that one.
No loony on this. But the SLS left, and thank goodness it did, because it just 10 minutes before it was going to launch, remember, a pause again? And this is the first time in NASA's history, they called them the red coats, the red suits. That is the first time the red suits had to go out to the launch pad, and they were scared to death.
Because that thing could
fire blow up. He says, not only that, they were interviewing one of the red coats. They're the guys that go out and have to tighten some screws or something on it. You don't usually do that. You usually scrap it and roll it back and everything else, or you drain it with all and it's not a bomb. But they went out with it fully loaded. And these ships, the guy said, they're like alive, as you're approaching them. They're making all kinds of noises and gurglings and hydraulics and everything going on. He says he was scared. They fixed it, though. They tightened a few nuts and bang. That's all it needed.
To the Jim and Terry Show. Tighten a few nuts in the basement.
Yeah, and anyways, it launched, and it's the most powerful rocket
Wednesday
that's left
morning.
the Earth, I believe. Even more powerful than the Saturn V.
Until Elon Musk's SpaceX
Yes.
launches.
But even Elon Musk is still saying, you know how they do things. They don't wait 10 years to launch something. They launch it, and if it blows up, they fix it. But he's saying, oh, please don't blow up on the launch pad, because the launch pad is incredibly complicated.
Let me celebrate, first of all, NASA and Artemis 1.
Yeah.
And it's on its way to the moon right now. I believe they've fired up to get out of the escape Earth orbit.
That's great.
And they're on their way to the moon.
Couple of days they'll be orbiting. We'll see. Hopefully they got cameras.
Did you see the shot looking back to the Earth from that once they got up there?
Yeah.
That's amazing to me.
And people still think the Earth isn't round.
Oh, flat earthers, when will you learn?
Well, I guess they think it's all fake, and they're spending these billions of dollars for what reason? I have no idea. The flat earthers, what is the reason to be lied to all this time?
I don't know, but it makes for interesting TV viewing on documentaries about flat Earth societies.
I guess it does. So the SLS is on its way, and what it has the Artemis. This is the Artemis system.
Yes.
And they have a space capsule, beautiful space capsule, by the way. It's nice and silver, and it's going to go to the moon and orbit and come back and land. It's got dummies on it. That's not the people that are on it. It doesn't have people. It has dummies. And they're going to take a number of readings and make sure it's all safe and everything's working for a crew, which in 2 years from now, a crew will probably go to the moon. I don't know with plans on landing on it, hopefully, but they still haven't built Gateway, which is going to be orbiting the moon. And when it's going to happen, as far as I understand, the Artemis capsule, SLS capsule, will land at the space station, which is called the Gateway, basically because it's going to be the gateway to Mars, but it'll be orbiting the moon. SpaceX now comes along with its gigantic mother starship, and it'll dock with the space station. The astronauts that went there in the capsule will now go into the starship, and the starship will land on the moon. And wow, complicated or what, right? And then the starship's responsible for getting off the moon. taken them back to the space station, which I guess they then transfer back into the capsule, and the back capsule takes them back to Earth. They splash down, and the procedure. Now, in between a couple of these, they may end up passing a starship, Elon Musk starship, with a bunch of tourists going, because he's going like crazy. Artemis took like 10 years to get to this point.
And 40 billion?
And 40 billion, yeah. Depending on who you talk to.
On a non-reusable system.
The next rocket that goes off in 2 years, that's going to cost $4.2 billion to launch it. And it's pretty well obsolete at that point.
Oh, it's obsolete now, the
Yeah.
system that they launched.
Yeah.
So the money is on Elon Musk. Now, do you think there's any hesitation at this point, seeing what Elon Musk has done with Twitter?
No, I don't.
Can I tell you the thing that Elon Musk did a funny? He made a funny tweet, and
Okay.
I like it. He said, how do you make a small fortune on, I'm going to say, I might get this wrong. How do you make a small fortune on a social media platform? Start with a large fortune. So he's got some self-deprecating humor. I sort of like that.
Yeah.
So I would give my little heart and a like to that one from
Well,
Elon
I got
Musk.
a feeling Elon Musk, when he decided to buy it a year ago, when he tried to pull out of the deal, I think he came, I don't know this business. I really don't know it, and I don't know if I want to know it. But he couldn't get out of it. So he got stuck having to buy it. And I don't think that's going to affect, unless it absolutely breaks the bank of everything he's got. But I don't think so, because as you said, he's got $400 billion, but he had to borrow money in order to buy. So because the money's tied up. It's a funny situation.
Financed
You and
through
me will never
Saudi
understand.
Arabia and China.
Yeah.
Oh my God, a rogues gallery of where am I going to get my money from? Oh my!
But he's got
Okay.
the backing of the of NASA, and he's got Space Force. He's got the backing of all of them. He's knows what he's doing when it comes to this rocketry.
When it comes to rocketry,
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about his political ideologies. I'm not sure about his libertarian streak that seems to throw mayhem out there. Chaos and mayhem.
I tend to turn off whenever, I don't care if it's Tom Hanks, I don't care who's on a talk show. Once politics comes into it, I go, why are you asking him that? Ask him about his movies. Why are you asking
Well, politics affects us all.
John
so-
Lennon about this, or whoever you're interviewing?
Well, we all have a view because of politics and faith. They all have something in common. They affect everybody.
I agree. But what I'm saying is, not everybody who's a good actor
Yes,
or a good
yeah.
at this or a good at that is good at everything.
You're
They're
right.
not good at everything.
You're right. And isn't that
Except
great?
you and me, of course.
That's
you
right.
know?
We are the last
Yeah.
remaining generalists.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
good at everything.
Absolutely everything.
We're multidisciplinary, trained, effective, efficient. Yeah, that's us.
Even at uneducated stuff, we're the best.
And I'm going to hold up this booklet here, our mock-up of the Jim Sampson House of Mansions album that we had to conceptualize with folded pieces of paper. I wonder if Elon Musk did that to get his SpaceX vision.
I don't know, but you're
We
right.
could
Both
be
of us
building
had
rockets next time.
When you sent me the information and
The layout.
and I looked at it, I did the same thing. I got a piece of paper and broke it into 6 sections, folded it over, and I had to do it that way, a mock-up, before I could say, yeah, this is how this is
We had trouble
printed.
conceptualizing in our brains.
Yeah.
We needed a tangible object to physically manipulate in space.
Yes. Wow, that was
Wow.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate Elon Musk, and hopefully there's a December launch. NASA. So let's celebrate NASA. Artemis 1 on its way. These are the things that fuel our imaginations.
They fuel our imaginations. They do an awful lot for society in the health industry and everything else. I don't know them all because I'm sold. I'm sold on it. Others that aren't, you do your research. Almost anybody who's been involved in the space programs and stuff can give you endless lists.
You can just Google it for yourself.
Yeah, endless lists of the benefits of products and materials and inventions like the heart pacemaker and stuff like that. Microwave, I believe, too. All kinds of stuff came out of having to make men and women survive in that absolute horrible environment of space. Mm-hmm. So I'm already sold, so I don't need all that information. Now for me, it's just get there, find a pyramid on the moon, please, you know.
Find a pyramid. That's on Mars. Or the Sphinx is on Mars.
Well, wherever. But yeah,
Wherever
find them, you know, the square planet or something.
If it's
I don't know.
Elon Musk's image on that Sphinx on Mars, I'll be
funny.
We knew you were coming.
Yes. We're not letting you come back.
The Jim and Terry show spaced out as ever. I'm going to blame the special beverage that Jim so kindly provided to celebrate his release of House of Mansions.
And to say thank you to you for helping me do that.
There you go. Cheers. Clink, clink, clink.
Clink, clink. Oh.
There we go.
Clink, bang.
You heard it. The Jim and Terry show
Almost broke that
signing
glass.
off. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.